up? It's your girl, LA The Life, Latoya Abram, and look, I am here with another video to tell you about a career that does not require for you to have a degree. Are y'all ready to find out what it is? Well, I'm ready to tell y'all, okay? So, a lot of you are following me because y'all know me for something. Y'all know me for something, right? And what it is that y'all know me for is that I'm a truck driver. So I have to talk about this, okay? I haven't done a full video on this, so today I will be doing a video on it. And we're gonna talk about commercial driver, okay? And what do you have to do to get a commercial driver's license? What are the requirements for a CDL driver? And we about to dive right into it. Okay, so look, this is what I'm gonna recommend that you do, because I'm speaking from my experience, because I am an experienced truck driver. I've been a truck driver for 3 years. 1 year was local. The other 2 years, well, no, 1 year was over the road, 1 year was local, and then the other year it's been local. And I prefer local over the road. Over the road is not for me, but I do have respect for anybody that is sacrificing their life to go over the road, because without truck drivers, we would have none of the things that we have, okay? We wouldn't have our house, our shoes, our clothes, our car, our jobs, hospitals, schools, none of that. Grocery stores, everything gets transported through a truck driver. So salute, okay, especially for anybody that's over the road, because if you have a family, you're missing out on a lot of things, but I understand you're out there making money so you can take care of your family, so respect and blessings to you. But me, I like local, and local, you can make as much as a over-the-road truck driver. So that's what I do like about truck driving. And then truck driving, you can make, now I just recently seen this, I usually say 250,000, but you can make 300,000, and that's as a company driver. Okay, now if you decide that you want to be independent, get your own authority, then you can make millions. But this is for company drivers. All right, so the requirements. All right, you want to have a clean driver's record, all right, because they're gonna look at that. And then you also want to make sure that you have not had any drugs in your system, in particular marijuana, because it stays in your system a long time. Before you think about going to truck driving school, make sure you do a detox at least 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and sometimes 3 don't work, because I've seen people get kicked out of truck driving school. And then if you know that you don't have any marijuana in your bloodstream, then I would say, find you a school. So let me tell you what, I'm gonna just tell you what I did. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what I did and what I learned. So what I've learned is, before you decide that you wanna go get your CDL license, first do your research on your school, okay? Picking your school is very important, and as well as cost. You wanna make sure it's something that you can afford. And then if you don't, they do have a lot of companies where they have their own truck driving schools, and they have tuition free. So that means that you can go to their school, but you have to commit to driving them driving for that company for a year or two. Most companies say a year. Now you don't have to stay with them with most. But if you want it to be free, then you stay with them for that year, and then you can go part your ways, or if you decide to stay with them, you can do that. But some truck driving companies will allow you to do the tuition free, and then the day that you sign your contract, dollars amount is deducted. Now I know of one school to do that. I don't know if all of them do that. As if you decide to take a position with the company. So I would recommend find your school, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, I would not recommend that anybody go to Swift. Swift, first of all, has a bad reputation, especially with accidents. A lot of crazy things happen with them. Like, even when you go to other companies and you're in orientation for training, they use a lot of their videos to show you what not to do. Okay, but I'm gonna say not Swift, because Swift is extremely high. They charging almost $10,000 to get a CDL license. The location that is in Waco, Georgia, is terrible. They have one examiner, and this happened to me 3 years ago. They have one examiner, and depending on how he feels is how he will pass you, and the color of your skin too, and if you are a man or a woman, because I did experience sexual discrimination, and I reported it. So okay, anyway, don't go to Swift. All right, so when I went to Swift, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my experience. I went to Swift, tuition free. They have you sign a contract. Off back, I know it's wrong because the price was just crazy. So you do 3 weeks, but I was able to knock a week off. I always recommend people to do this too. Get your permit before you actually go to school, because if you don't, you have 3. So if it's a 3-week program, that means that first week you're gonna be getting your CDL license, and then if you don't pass the first or the second time, then you're wasting your money. You're not gonna be able to start the training classes. So I always recommend people to get your CDL license first. A good way to prep for it is to download the CDL Prep app. You're gonna put your state in there. It's gonna give you tests are identical to the actual test that you're gonna take at the DMV. Also for endorsements, the same tests are on there as well. Just put your test in, because some states is some states is, what was the difference? It's something different. The questions, some states you get 3 like questions in a column versus other states are like 4. So just make sure you put your state in, the current state that you're going to be going to take your test, put that in there. So when you go take your permit test at the DMV, you'll be able to pass. So you also have to be, now, this is a little tricky. You can be 18, you will not be able to cross state lines though. But most companies, when they bring you in to their truck driving school, they want you to be 21 years old or older, okay? Also, if you are a vet, your tuition would be cheaper. I know with some, I don't know if I'll do that. And if you was an essential worker during the pandemic too. So I know nurses was coming and their tuition was getting dropped to a lower price than what they initially said. So make sure you check that out. Once you got your permit, then you found the school that you want to go to, that will knock a week off. So if it's 3 weeks, then you would do 2 weeks because you already got your permit. So that's gonna knock that time off. So that'll actually give you more time to study, because after you have taken the test to get your CDL license, you are going to have to take a general knowledge test. And that general knowledge test requires for you to know that outside of the tractor trailer to the inside of the tractor trailer, you're gonna need to know the outside of the trailer to the inside of the trailer, and you're gonna have to know what's underneath the trailer. Okay? Make sure that you have to know what's inside of the engine, because you will be doing some mechanic work yourself. Not like working, but like checking it, your pre-trip. Before, during, and after, you have to do a pre-check. And this will prevent any breakdowns on the highway, any accidents. You're gonna also check the tires as well. That's a part of the pre-trip. All right, so look, once you get that done, you're gonna be learning how to back. You're gonna do offset, alley dock, and what else? 360, you might do, alley dock is 360. So you're just gonna be learning how to do, backing. So your offset is, they're gonna tell you either left or right. They're gonna have you pull up, and then they're gonna have you offset it. So if you pull up straight, if you in the right lane, you're gonna pull up straight, you're gonna go to the left lane. If you in the left lane, you're gonna pull up straight, go to the right lane. That's offset. And then you will do a back. So just pull up, back up. Okay, and then remember, when you're in there, if you're trying to go to the right, you wanna turn the wheel to the left. And it's the other way. If you go to the right, turn your wheel, I'm sorry, what did I say? If you go to the left, then turn your wheel right. So it's the opposite. Kind of like parking, but not really, because it's different. You know how parking, if you're going right, you just go right. But in a truck, it's completely different. You go the opposite direction. Okay, so the first week too, they're gonna, if you don't have your CDL permit, you're gonna be doing a test for your CDL permit, and you're also going to be doing your drug screening. Now, drug screening is for everybody. You don't get no time cut for that. And they do that so that you can get your DOT card. Now, in order for you to be a truck driver, you have to get your CDL permit as well as get your DOT card. That's a physical. So they're going to do a drug test. They're going to cut your hair to test it like that. They want to look in your DNA. You're also going to do a vision test, because they want to make sure that you can see when you out there in this road, because you're going to be driving in all different weather conditions. And depending on you're going to be driving in the day and the night, especially if you over the road. So they just want to make sure your eyesight is up to date. Also, too, make sure you watch your weight, because if you are obese or overweight, you will not get a DOT card for 2 years. So you want to get a DOT card and you hold it for 2 years. Every 2 years, you get a new DOT card. Now, you want to make sure you stay on top of having that DOT card up to date, because if it expires, that means you have lost your CDL license. So without the DOT physical card, you cannot have a CDL license. So make sure you remember that. Okay, every 2 years it expires. And what else? Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you my experience. So the first time I went to truck driving school was with Swift in Waco, Georgia. I had a week knocked off. It's actually at a college that's in Waco, Georgia. They have like a little building. They do not feed you. Okay, so make sure you bring your own food, or there is like restaurants and it's like a Love's up the street that you can go to and get food. But I would recommend that you bring your own food. And you're going to be out there all weather conditions, and they have gravel road, so it be cold. When it's cold, it's cold. I don't know about hot, because I actually went in the winter time and they had us out there cold. Some people was getting sick. Now, if you're coming from out of state, or if you live too far, you just want to be close, they will put you in a hotel. From what I was told, it's not the best hotel. I think they do provide breakfast, but it's like real light. So if you go stay in a hotel, just make sure, and make sure too, you keep your stuff locked up, because I was hearing people say that they was having stuff missing out of their room. If you go to Swift, I do not recommend going to Swift. Okay. So I went for 2 weeks. I was unproperly trained. My instructor, the day that we had to take our test, he actually was fired because his graduating rate was low. He had one person pass in 30 days, so they had to let him go. And so the day we took our test, they let him go. So 2 of us didn't pass. It was 3 in my group and 2 of us didn't pass. I actually did a man. I think he didn't. No, I don't think he passed the first time. I think he was there again. So anyway, yeah, he didn't pass, and they only gave us a few days to get with somebody else to learn. And the first time I took the test, no, it's the second time, because I think, what did I take? Do they let you take it 3 or 2? The first time I took the test, I didn't pass because I didn't know. We wasn't properly trained. The second time I did, but he told me I missed a torsion bar, which is on the trailer at the rear by the tires. That was the only thing that I missed, and they're real strict about it. So the instructor was like, I don't know if it's because you're a woman. He was not supposed to tell me that. That's probably why you're not getting it. I said, well, I only missed one part. It ain't got nothing to do with me being a woman. He's like, yeah, but y'all look different. This is discrimination. I said, okay, well, when I come back, I'll have it, because I'm like, I still wasn't properly trained. And so I think when I did it again, was it 2 or 3 times? I think it was 3 times. After 3 times, you get no more times. That's it. You're out of there. And you still got to pay them the $10,000. So the instructor, I had told them what he said. Nothing happened, and he knew nothing was going to happen to him because he's the only examiner, not instructor, he's an examiner. The only examiner in Waco, Georgia. He's older, and so he do whatever he want to do. And it wasn't just me, it was other people too. Now, the third time I took it, I messed up on my offset, and it's like, that was easy. Now that I can do it, it's easy. But anyway, so they said that was it. So I ended up going, my brother went to a truck driving school in Illinois, and he was telling me to go. He was like, they pay their drivers while you're in training, and then if you decided to take a position with them, they pay you $800 a week while you wait. And so I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna go. He said they have different locations, so if you don't want to come way out here, see if they got something close. So they had one in Tennessee, and then it was one in Mississippi. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Mississippi. Went with Mississippi. I'm glad I did, because I was an out-of-state student. My tuition was $3,500, and they also had their tuition free. So if I decided to take a job with them, I could work for them for a year. But if I didn't want to stay with them, the day that I signed my contract, they started deducting dollars amounts. And so that's what I did take the position, but I did leave. So my balance was like way lower than what Swift was. So with the school that I chose, they did put us in a hotel. We were separate from the men, which was good. We was like, I think like 20 minutes away from them, or 20 or 30 minutes away from them. They fed us. They did feed us. They fed us lunch. They fed us breakfast. They fed us breakfast and lunch. Dinner, we was responsible for that. If you didn't have a car, they did van runs to Walmart, which was not that far. Now this is the kid. Now I was blessed, okay? So you will be put in a room. If you're not going with a friend or somebody you know, you're gonna be put in a room, and men and women can't be in a room together. You're gonna be put in a room with a complete stranger. So you got to pray your way through. So when I first went, one of the young ladies from Swift, so first of all, I'm gonna say it was like 8 of us. I think it was 8 or 5. It was like 8 of us all together. I told her about where I was at, and then I told her to tell the other ones, because some of the men had experienced racism from that examiner. So they all came where we were at. So when she decided to come, everybody had different start dates. When she decided to come, I was like, well, if you come in, we should see if we can get a room together, since we already know each other. And she was like, yeah. So we did get a room. We signed up to get the room together. Let me tell y'all what happened. Hold on. All right, so she ended up coming the second week I was there. No, she came was it the first week? Or the second? I think it was my second week. Because they actually do 3 weeks. No, was it 4 weeks? No, they do 3 weeks. I had knocked the week off. So she came the second week, because I didn't have to do the first week. I already had my CDL permit. So I had went back home. And while I was there, I was like, well, you can come ride with me. So we was riding together, and freaking car broke down. It was a new car too. I actually got the car from my daughter's graduation, so I was using her car. And they was real strict. They told her she couldn't start. I told them everything that was going on. She had a family member that came and got us. Thank God he came and got us and brought us back to my house, and she was able to stay the night. Then he came back the next day and got her, because they told her she wasn't gonna be able to start until the week after. They was like, we're sorry, it's unfortunate, but they was like, we can let you start since you're already here, because you had a week knocked off, but if you have to be here by tomorrow, if you're not here by tomorrow, you have to start it all over. I said, oh no, I can't do that. I was like, can y'all fly me? He was like, we can get you a Greyhound bus. I was like, what if I get a ticket that's the same amount as that Greyhound? No. I ended up taking the Greyhound. That's what happened, because I had my neighbor take me to the Greyhound bus station. It was late at night. So I went to the Greyhound bus station. I got there in time, and I was able to complete. And so I had them, how did I get back? Because I had to get my car. Oh, I got a Greyhound ticket back, because I had put my car in the shop. That's what it was. So they said before I left, so during the day, I took the car to the shop. And then while I was in Mississippi, the car was getting worked on. Now, keep in mind, I didn't have no job when I went. I was going off money I had saved up. And so I ended up I had just got the car. I had the car maybe like 2 weeks. I had to pay $700 and something to get a part fixed on it. What was it? Something simple. Paid it, got the car back. I make it back to Mississippi, and when I get there, the car I was going through, and so we ended up getting the car back working, and then I ended up completing. And so I did have to do additional week, because I didn't pass the first time, and I was taught, and they was like, you know everything, what's going on? I'm like, I just get nervous, I don't know. And so you only get 2 chances with them. After that, you done. You got to go. And you still got to get them their money. Okay, I would have had to get them all in at 35. Well, it would have been less because they was taking off dollar amounts while I was there. So I was praying, okay? I'm telling you with none but Jesus and me on that lot. Because I said, God, first of all, when I didn't pass the first time, I was so devastated because I'm like, I done came way out here. I got my kids to take care of. I'm a single parent mom. I can't disappoint my kids. I can't disappoint myself. I'm talking to God. And then the guys that I was in class with, because I was the only female in my group, and it was just like, oh, we so sorry. We just knew you had it because you knew everything. You was like getting us heads. You was doing good when we was practicing. I know, I'm crying like, oh my God, and I came way out here. It take a lot for me to cry too. I'm like, I can't way out here. They was like, you got it. This young guy, he was like 21, 22. He was like, you got it. My girl, you got it. You got it. I was like, thank you. So I stayed and I made sure I was listening to everything. And so when it was time for me to do my straight back line, I did that. When I did offset, I did that. He said, all right, now I need you to do alley dot. I was like, okay. And they said, this is the thing though. You can keep going up as many times as you want, but once you start putting that truck inside those cones, ain't no going back up no more. And I said, oh my God. So the whole time I'm in training, I'm lining it up straight, y'all. I'm lining it up straight. I couldn't get it together. And I kept on. And they was like, it's getting late. You said I could be out here as long as I want. I kept going. I just stopped. I said, God, please put this truck in here. I have to get my license. I didn't come out here to fail. I said, Father God, you got me out here. I know that you didn't bring me out here to fail. Please, God, I'm praying and crying. He said, okay. I went up there, lined it up, got it in there perfect. And then here I go trying to inch it up a little bit. And they want to say, stop. So they looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, girl, it was so bad, y'all. The instructor from the dang on academy came out. Oh, their truck driving school too was at the college as well. He came out. And so after I passed, he was like, girl, he's like, girl, I just want to ask you something. I said, what? He said, why when you got it in the line, why did you move it? I said, I just want to make sure I was right. He said, you had it. He said, you know, if that cone would have fell. I said, but it didn't fall over. We going to get my license or what? He said, come on in here and get your paper. You done. You completed. I said, thank the Lord. So once you complete, they put you in a better hotel when you take the job offer. They put you in a better hotel. And then you get paid while you're waiting on your instructor. So they rotated around. It was only like 3 women out of the whole class that graduated. And it was majority men, more so younger men. We had some older guys in there, but more so younger. And most of them were from Mississippi. It was a guy, African guy. He was from Atlanta. Me and him was from Atlanta, but the rest of them, oh no, and I didn't get the story. Wait a minute, did my friend? No, she still was in class. So she didn't get to graduate with our class. But everybody that I told about from Swift, they all came over and all of us got our CDL license without a problem. And another thing about the place we went to is they don't have just one examiner. Actually, the trainers are examiners. Mississippi is completely different. And then the general knowledge, Georgia wants you to know a whole lot. Mississippi like, nah, we want you to know what you need to know. You ain't got to do all that crazy stuff. So anyway, it was just completely different there. And then whoever I didn't work with as far as a trainer when I was on the yard is who could give me my exam. And so anyway, I passed, and I graduated too with a tanker's endorsement. So they do have you get a tanker's endorsement if you take a job with them because they haul a lot of refrigerator items. So I graduated with my tanker endorsements, and I waited for my trainer. I waited about 3 weeks. I was getting like $800 a week, 4 weeks, $800 a week while I was waiting. That was helping. And so when it was time for me to get with my trainer, they wanted me to go back to Mississippi. Now, how did this work? I went to Mississippi. They flew me out some type of way. Okay, yeah, so I went to Mississippi, and I'm trying to think, why did I fly there? Oh, maybe I flew back. I think I flew back, yep. I flew there. I was like, instead of me getting a Greyhound, I said, if I can fly on a plane ticket the same price as the Greyhound ticket, will y'all get it? They said, okay, can you find a flight? And I surely did. I said, I found it. And so they said, okay. So they put me in a hotel, and then my trainer, he came and got me, but he was actually going on his reset. So what we did was I met him. I kind of did like a little bit of training out there, because you got to take a road test with the company once you become a driver with them. He trained me on that. I passed that. And then when we were done, he had a barbecue. Food was good, okay? And after the barbecue, he was like, okay, we're going to go back. I'm going to drop you off in Georgia. And then I think he lived in Macon or something. He lived somewhere southern. And he's like, I'm going to go home. But when I'm done with my reset, he was like, we'll get back on the road. I'll come back and get you. And so that's what happened. And we went from Georgia to Mississippi, Tennessee, Arizona, New Mexico, California. Yeah, we was all over Illinois, Ohio, Missouri. We was everywhere. Oklahoma. And so I did like a week and a half. And I had to come back home because I had a kid that was acting up. And so that was the end with that. So I didn't end up staying with them long. I ended up going with a owner-operator here, his own authority. Oh, I didn't even tell this part. So while I was in CDL school, because I knew I wanted to have my own trucking company, I started my own authority. So by the time I completed, or actually left him, my authority was active. I just had to get a truck. I needed equipment. And so that's a whole nother story, because I thought I was gonna rent, and it just wasn't making sense. They was like, oh, you can't go over 1,000 miles. Well, is it 1,500 miles in a week? And I'm like, how am I gonna make money? And I gotta pay y'all 1,000? That ain't making sense. That math ain't mathing. But anyway, I hope it wasn't long drawn. I just wanted to get my truck driving experience to let you know that's what you can do to get yours. And a college degree is not required, okay? All right, so maybe I might talk about how you do your authority next, and how you got to get insurance, and I might talk about that, starting your LLC. I got an EGOT on that, starting your LLC, building business credit, because I did all of that. But if this video was helpful, please make sure you leave me a comment. Also, share this, because there's people looking for jobs. They're looking for careers without a degree. Also, you can have a criminal background being a truck driver. It just depends on how long or what. I don't know. I don't want to answer that because I don't know for sure. But there's a lot of people that have a criminal background. I know some murderers, some robbers. Okay, and they are truck drivers. They turned their life around in truck drivers. So, I mean, I don't think they will. Some companies actually look for felons. So that's who they want to give a second chance to. So don't be discouraged by that. But anyway, make sure you like, share, comment. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Okay, thumbnail, y'all. Okay, I'm out.